So tell me a little bit about SoiL and your path to where you are now.
Well, as we were just talking about, we used to come through Iowa a lot in the early days of our indie record, and then we signed it. We actually went in the studio with Johnny K and recorded a demo that got a lot of recognition, started blowing up on this radio station in Orlando, Florida called WJRR, and we had a major label bidding war going on. We ended up signing with Clive Davis's label, J Records, and we put out 2 records through them, Scars and Redefine, and then some things went down. They merged with Sony, and a ton of employment changes and label changes over there. So we kind of got squeezed out. And then our singer left, so we got a new singer, and then signed this label called BRT, and put out an album called True Self, and that did really well. We did a lot of great tours. We went out with like Godsmack and Stained in the U.S. and Europe, and 10 Years, and Seven Dust, and a bunch of others, and then it came time to record another record, and our label kept saying, oh, well, we were going to have to get some money together. We're having financial problems. And it just kept going on and on and on. So we actually jumped ship and went with Beeler Brothers, as Nonpoint and Skindred, among a bunch of others, and put out our new record, Picture Perfect, October 2009. And went to Europe with Shinedown, and through the States with Kitty, went to Australia, and now we're just getting ready to hit a coast-to-coast 6-week tour with Smile Empty Soul. And that's kind of the gist of it all.
Yeah. What keeps you going? What keeps you going after it every day? What keeps you wanting to do this every day?
Honestly, just the passion for the music business, for the music rather, not the music business, but just for playing music. And you can sit there and go through all the daily bullcrap of record labels and radio charts and retail sales and all this other stuff that just keeps holding you down, and money problems and crew problems of every sort. And at the end of the day, when you get an email from a fan, or you play a live show and a fan comes up and says, you know what, my life was just horrible, and I was contemplating suicide, or I was just thinking about giving up, but this record or this song got me through it, and I must have listened to it 1,000 times, but it got me through it got me through my problems, helped me through that. You can't put a price on that. And the feeling that you get from something like that, knowing that you touch somebody's life, and something that you're doing in life is making a difference on others. That's at least for me, that's the motivation that constantly keeps me going. It's just knowing that something that I'm a part of is actually touching other people, and for me, that's the biggest reward there is.
Do you make a living at this, or do you have to work a real job to make ends meet?
I'm knocking on wood right now. So far, since about '01, I haven't had to have a supplemental job. This has been all I've done. So, I mean, I've done some things on the side, like produce some bands, and I have a small record label on the side. That doesn't really churn over that much of a profit. So, SoiL is my main income and thing.
Yeah. Do you have a family and stuff that you support as well?
No kids. Never been married. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of. I've seen a lot of people that have families and things like that, and the strain that touring and the rigorous lifestyle puts on them, and it really hurts everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether that's the reason or whatever in the cards, but I've never been married and I don't have any kids, and it's probably better off that way. Just like I was saying, just from being gone most of the time, and all the time that you have to commit to being in a band and doing it right.
How many hours a day do you spend working on music, do you think?
To be honest with you, I was kind of tallying it up, and it's just, it's a 24/7 thing. I mean, I sometimes I'll have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to do an interview in Japan or in Europe or whatever, and then other times I'm on the phone all day talking to our manager, figuring out different ways to go about things, or I'll get a ton of forms that we have to fill out for a song license or publishing for this or that. And then when we're practicing and writing a record, we'll practice anywhere up to like 5 days a week for 3 hours, 4 hours a day, and it's just a nonstop thing. I can get a call at 1 o'clock in the morning from somebody at a radio station, saying, oh, we're going to have, Kim King on from, for our late night power hour or something. So you never really get away from it. I've been on in the middle of vacations in, wherever, and my phone will ring, and I'll sit there and have to take care of some business in the middle of a beach somewhere. So it's kind of like being almost like a doctor. You're 24 hours on call, and you never get a break. Definitely a labor of love, and like we were saying earlier, if I had any kids, I don't know what I'd do, because it just sucked all the life out of me,
Your sound is definitely what's happening on active rock radio right now. What do you think is going to take SoiL to the next level?
We've had our ups and downs, and we were at, the top of our game with that song Halo, which was, like our biggest song to date. And then, we got pretty close to that with a song called Redefined. And, now we have a new single out called The Lesser Man. I don't want to jinx it, but things are going well for that. And, I think it's just, we've always had bad timing. We've always been, like, so close, for you to see that prize, and you're just ready to reach it, and then you get the rug pulled out from underneath of you, And we've definitely been, an underdog band to where, I don't want to sit here and complain, because we've done it all. We've accomplished more than 99% of people out there, but you always want to go for that 0.001% where you sell 5 million records or something like that. But,
right.
I think it's just going to take being in the right place at the right time. This business is completely, almost 100% luck. You got to have talent, but there's also a ton of luck involved. And we've been doing it for so long, and we've been blessed with the chance after chance after chance. All it's going to take, just being in the right place at the right time and just grabbing it at one time. So
right.
I don't really have a crystal ball, but I'm hoping that maybe this album might be the one to do it.
Right.
So.
What do you think is perhaps your proudest moment in music so far?
My proudest moment, I would have to say, definitely just sticking with it and the longevity of it. It's me, Tom, and Adam have been playing together since we've been 16 years old, and we just had this never say die attitude and this never give up attitude, and we just constantly pushed the envelope and tried to stay true to what we do and keep going with it. But definitely one of my most exciting moments would have definitely been the Merry Mayhem tour that we did with Ozzy Osbourne, Rob Zombie, Mudvayne, and SoiL. We were playing 20,000 seat arenas, and it was the biggest. At that point, it was the biggest shows we'd ever played before in our careers. And I just remember playing the arena here in Chicago that I had seen so many shows, from Motley Crue to Judas Priest to Bon Jovi, whoever. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I'm actually here doing this, and that was probably like the landmark, for me at least.
Right. I totally get that. I totally get that.
Yeah. Whether I was saying to myself, even if it all ended today, I did this, and it just kept on going, which we were fortunate enough about. But
right.
There's just those little landmark things where you just look at it and you're like, wow, if this was it, I'd be happy.